I'm Arielle, the afternoon curator for that station, going live with the newest member of Yonder Mountain String Band, Nick Piccinini, just moments before their Quarantunes from Home session. Nick, thanks so much for taking the time to jam out with us and chat with me today. How have you been?
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have you been keeping sane during the quarantine?
I mean, you'd have to start out sane, so no. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I mean, it's good.
I know you've sat in with Yonder before, but the start of 2020 was your first time actually going on tour with them. And I know it was unfortunately very short-lived, but can you tell me about your first touring experience with the band?
It felt like I'd come home. Seriously, like everything about everyone in the band and the crew, it was just so comfy. It was really, really cool. And the fans were amazing too. So, I didn't know, there's always a little apprehension when you come in to an established thing like that and you're the new guy, and it was really amazing.
Well, I actually got to see you on this tour. You performed at the Cat's Cradle in Carborough.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your experience performing here in the Triangle?
I'm going to be 100% honest. There's like everything kind of blurred together for me so much. Like a whole month went by that I have so much trouble picking out specific events.
Right.
So, I'm sorry. It's really like such a whirlwind, because every day, like I was thinking about just, I gotta learn. All right, I gotta try to get these 2 songs down, just trying to get assimilated. But yeah, I don't know. I remember that every day was fun. So.
Good.
I know I had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really special seeing you join the band because you're very different. Like you don't just have one designated instrument. So it was really fun, like on my end, just to see you switch from guitar to mandolin to fiddle and singing too. I know you've been doing this for a while, but does it ever get like confusing on stage or hard to keep up with all those instruments?
I think just physically, sometimes your hands get kind of confused, some of the muscle memory, that can be the hardest part of it, I think.
Right.
But yeah, yes, to answer your question, yes, it does get hard sometimes. It does get confusing, but I do my best. It's the hardest part is finding the practice time. If you have time in the day to practice each instrument a little bit, you're usually okay then on stage. So.
Okay, good. So you've been a performer for pretty much your entire life. Didn't you start doing festivals when you were like 14 years old? Or?
Yeah, I was 13. So,
wow.
Yeah,
so,
when I got to the point where it was half of my life I'd been doing it, then I started to feel old, and started to feel like, wow, I've been doing this for a while.
Well, you started so young. Can you tell me about the most memorable performance from early on in your career?
Honestly, the most memorable thing for me was the very first show I ever played. I was so scared. I was scared out of my mind, and it was such a kind of a breakthrough moment, that our bass player in the band at the time, he was like, "Look, if you make a mistake, it's gone. It's not being recorded." He's like, "Just go up there, have fun, try to enjoy it." And I had a couple different people encouraging me. And I mean, here I was at that time. So I'd been playing a year. I was 14. I was just shaking,
Mm-hmm.
And that really is the thing that has stuck out with me the most. Like I still struggle with that, like getting in my own head a little bit. So just that idea of like just going out and being free, being loose, and just enjoying the moment. Yeah. It's always stuck with me. So that probably is my most memorable one. Honestly, it's the first show.
That's very cool. And that you would say that's like your biggest takeaway, just kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah. When you're, a live show performing like that, I think that's the biggest thing, is to be able to just keep going no matter what happens, because stuff happens. Stuff happens all the time.
Yeah. One thing I like to keep in mind, especially when you're new at something, is like the people in the crowd don't know what you're supposed to be doing. So a lot of times people don't even realize when you guys mess up.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if that brings you any comfort at all, but I try to tell myself that when I'm going on air.
Sure. Yeah, it's the same thing.
You don't know what I'm supposed to say.
You can get in your own head for sure.
Definitely. I know that Allie played a huge role in your recruitment to Yonder. Can you tell me about your relationship with her?
Yeah. So first met Allie at summer camp in Illinois, right? And I was playing in the band Floodwood, which I still play with sometimes now, and that's Al and Vinny from the band Mo.
Yeah.
So we started that band, and so Al was like, we gotta bring Floodwood to summer camp, and we started to go, and we played a few years in a row. And so the first year we were there, we met Allie. Al was like, we got to have Allie come play fiddle with Floodwood at the campfire stage. And that was when I first met her. And then, like I said, so we'd be there, year after year for a few years anyway. And so you just get to know the same folks because she's always there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. We just kind of kept in touch. And she was just someone I always thought was really cool and very talented. And then when she texted me out of the blue, she was like, "Hey, do you play mandolin?" And I'm just like, yes. Do I want to say yes? I'll say yes. And she's like, "Well, do you think you could like send a video of you playing some mandolin just so we could see like that you could, how to hold it or whatever?" So I sent along a video, and they liked it enough to say, "Why don't you come do a couple fill-ins?" But yeah, Allie was without her doing that, like I wouldn't have had any reason for them to even know I existed. So
Wow, that's awesome. I love summer camp too. That's one of my favorites for sure.
So much fun.
It is a blast, but it is hot.
Yeah. If I had to pick, going back to your other question, if I had to pick like a secondary most memorable thing, it would be my first year at summer camp because it was a huge breakthrough for me as well. Just to realize how much music's out there, how many people are out there that love music,
Definitely. And yeah, playing with Floodwood and all of the other side projects that you have, how has that helped you transition into your role with Yonder?
Well, it's just more of that idea of learning to roll with the punches. I think that the more things you do that are a little different, you just I don't know. It makes it easier to just step into something like that, learn new material, be more comfortable not only on stage but off stage with other performers. I think it's helped, in the way I interact with the band, and I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Sorry, I seriously, I say this all the time because I'm not ashamed to admit it. I get awkward in interviews. So.
I don't think you're awkward. I'm really enjoying talking to you.
Just so everyone knows out there.
So right before the passing of John Prine, you did a really beautiful rendition of the song, like one of his songs, Paradise. And I thought it was really beautiful what you wrote. You said there's nothing as inviting and honest as John Prine's music. I think that's also like a very accurate way to describe it as well. There have been a ton of tributes for him in the last month or so. Have you listened to any of them or taken part in any?
I've been watching so much stuff. I honestly, after he passed too, I spent like a day just digging into his renditions of his, listening to his recordings, and then also just watching a lot of the tributes that were going by. There's so much that he's done.
Yeah.
For, music in general. I was going to say our style of music, but really just, he's had he left a huge handprint all over music.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool. Yeah, I loved your cover. You guys have a concert coming up pretty soon.
We do.
Yeah. Is that going to be your first live concert back, like after the whole pandemic?
Yep.
That's awesome. So you're doing a drive-in concert. I can't imagine how excited you must be because I know that like the lack of live music is affecting everybody. But this is obviously going to be very different from any of the other shows you guys have done since it is a drive-in. How is it different, like preparing for a drive-in concert versus one of your typical performances?
You know, I haven't thought about that. Do I need to renew my license now? Wait, I don't know if I have to drive. Honestly, I don't really know what all it's going to entail. Like, I think for us, it's going to be the same as always. I think, you know, everything's going to be set up exactly the same. I am curious about, like, I don't know. There's an energy that you feed off of the crowd typically in a live performance. Obviously, this will be better than just doing a stream for that, but it's going to be different. I don't know.
Are they going to like honk instead of clap?
I hope so. I hope so. We need some. You know?
That'll be funny. I mean, maybe they'll be like hanging out the sunroofs of their car.
Yeah, I mean,
of the truck.
I think they can't, right? Like, that should be fine.
I don't know the rules.
I don't know. I saw someone today. I don't remember what band it was, but they performed all in like bubbles. Have you seen that? Like, everyone was, and the entire audience was in bubbles, like plastic bubbles.
That's hilarious.
Really, yeah, this is our life now.
I kind of like that idea though. It's like sometimes you go to a music festival, you don't want some of those hippies to get too close to you.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to get spilled on you. Or
yeah, I'm fine with the bubble. I kind of like the bubble idea. And you guys are coming out with. You guys have so much stuff going on. You have a new album coming out at the end of this month, a tribute to John Hartford called Amuro, which has a ton of different other amazing artists on it, from Keller Williams to Leftover Salmon, so many others. Can you tell me about how the band developed the concept for this album?
You are talking to the wrong person.
Sorry.
No. So I actually didn't even know it was a thing until Adam asked me like last week to do a video to help promote it.
Oh, cool.
So I'm not actually, I wasn't on it or anything like that. I don't really know anything about it, except I do know that they love, like talking to Adam and Ben, they just love John Hartford's music. Yeah. Which I do too. I don't know as much of his material. Adam was like, can you do Holden? And I was like, well, I'll look it up. So I listened to it. I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know how they came up with the idea. I think they're just huge fans, really. All
right. Well, something I know that you're on is your new EP that came out. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So that's been being finished up in our houses. I know Dave's been working on his parts a little bit, and I'm doing the same here in the house. And it's weird because we weren't set up to do that. So figuring that out has been fun, but I know we're all really excited just to get it finished and get it out there. And I think it sounds great from everything I've heard so far, you know, even not being fully mastered. So it's exciting.
Do you know when that one will be fully released?
I don't. I think we're going to be done with our parts soon. I know Adam's been working on a lot of the mixing. I'm really not giving you much to go on here today.
You are.
You're talking to the new guy. I just do what I'm told, you know. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? What, play this in what key? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're funny. Well, is there anything else that you want to mention before you and the rest of your bandmates start jamming out today?
Just, you know, we really appreciate everyone's feedback online. It's really kind of helped us keep our chins up, you know, and be kind of keep trying to push forward as best as we can in this time. You know, it's been really nice.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today. Sorry I asked you some difficult questions. I'm excited to see you.
Too hard.
I'm sorry. I'll make it easier next time.
No, thank you.
I'm excited to see what you guys have in store for us today. And for anybody that's listening, thanks for tuning in to that station's Quarantunes from Home with our very special guest from Yonder Mountain String Band.
Oh, hey, you showed up. I was just enjoying some alone time. We wanted to send a song out to all you introverts. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of the day, now my feet grow tired and the wind goes wild with the road, and it seems to end. My mind races on, but the sunlight she's gone. At the end of the it's too much confusion, too many lies. Too many times my heart has been broken right in two. I've spent too many tears thinking about those times. Cried too many rivers over you. Now the lights up ahead, they mean that I am near. I can smell the wood smoke in the air. And when I go back out again, I want to return to my old home. I know she'll be there. So many miles and so many roads. People don't even know my name. So many times I've looked to western skies. Nowhere I go, it's like the same. There's that sweet home waiting for